Morning, sports fans. What a glorious day today. Got my yard mowed yesterday. Got the bushes over here trimmed all day yesterday. Kind of fertilized and watered a couple of bad areas in the yard. It's going to be like 90 degrees a day, I think. And blue skies. And Kathy, I know you like that. Blue skies, white puffy clouds, and a lot of sun. It sure is a whole lot different than what Mount Rushmore was when we were there. More video of that coming up this week. So, trying to get back to normal. This is Monday. I'm recording this for Wednesday. Wednesday is normally when we do the question and answers thing. And I had a few questions here that I got while I was on my trip. I really couldn't do this then, but I'll do it now. Joanne Savaglio, she sent me a video of a buyer beware type video that somebody else cut down here in the Villages. I don't know who the gentleman was. I don't know if he was a home inspector or another real estate agent. I don't know who the guy was. It doesn't make any difference, but everything you see on that video is exactly true, Joanne. I done a video like that, I don't know, a year and a half ago. You'll have to go down in my videos to find it. I didn't go out two houses like he did. Well, one house. He was at a particular house. I don't know what he was doing there. I don't know if he was inspecting it or what he was doing actually. But anyway, I done a buyer beware. I don't remember what the video was called, but I done a buyer beware about that. When you buy a house here, I don't care if it's a pre-owned home or a brand new home, there are sharks out there. Here's what happens. Here's how it started with me. But I've been coming down here for a long time, so I kind of knew all this. I knew what to ignore. But the one thing I did not know, you buy a house, in my situation, there's a lady that comes by in a car, had a sign on the car that says something like Villages Welcome Wagon, something like that. And she came up to our door, knocked on our door with a basket of goodies. And I guess, when you see the name Villages, you just trust that name. And I think the developer needs to really start coming down hard on that. There's a lot of people around here using that name, Villages. They have absolutely nothing to do with the Villages, but they're using that name. And I don't know if the Villages, I'm sure it's a registered trademark, but I don't know if they've got a copyright on that name where they can stop other people from using it, because I think it's a bad idea to let them continue this way. Not unless these people are paying the Villages developer money to be able to use that name. I don't know any of this. I'm just using my imagination here. But anyway, she comes up to the door with a basket of goodies. Welcome to the neighborhood. You just bought the house. What do you think so far? We was the first person to buy in this neighborhood, but we was only the second person to move in. So this lady comes knocking on the door, basket of goodies, and welcome to the neighborhood. And she already knew our name. And like I said, I trust the name Villages. Want to give you this basket of stuff. Most of it was coupons for this or that, and there was a few things in there. And it's been so many years ago, I don't even remember what it was. But anyway, stuff. Do you know your phone number here yet? Which at that time we did. It starts with that package. When you get the cable package for whoever you go with, if you go with one, it comes where you have to take the phone. You got to take the phone. And they get that phone number because it's a public phone. And then they got your number, and then they got your address. Now they got your name. And then they leave. Well, she writes all this down on a piece of paper. It's on a clipboard. And then the phone calls and the door knocking barrage started. First of all, let me say, that soliciting inside the villages is strictly prohibited. It's against all deed restrictions, and all the major companies here know that. They're not allowed to come up to your door and bother you and say and try to sell you something. All you got to do is call Community Watch. They know who to get a hold of. If they won't do it, they'll give you a number, and they'll come out and they'll track these guys down, and they'll let them know that you can't come in here soliciting. So it started with us. So the first thing you're going to get barraged with is water treatment people. You have to get this water softener. You have to whatever. These systems, and most of them are probably fairly reasonable or fairly honest, I'll say. But there is a barrage of people out there that they want to stab you in the back. I'm telling you, they want $5,000 for something that ain't worth the $2,000, and be very aware of that. Don't fall for that stuff. Tell them to go away. Just be blunt about it, because sometimes you just got to be rude, and I don't mind it at all when somebody knocks on my door, and I tell them straight out, you're not allowed to solicit here. Just go on down the road, and I'm just going to give you fair warning that I'm calling it in. I'm got your name on your truck, and I'm calling it in. They know better than that, and don't let them screw you around. So buyer beware. I've said it 100 times. So I appreciate the video you sent. It was okay. It was something to watch. The guys seemed to be pretty honest about it. But I've already done a video on that. Oh my gosh, my phone just shut off. What the heck? Okay. So thanks for that, Joanne. Chris Harden. Let me see what you got here. Skip says, yeah, your email is normally below your video, but this time it was not. I have it saved now. I don't put it below every video. But I've had a lot of people ask me about my email, so I put it in my videos for a long time now, every video. But apparently I was putting them down in an area that was showing up on my computer, that the email was there, but everybody else said they weren't getting it. I don't know why. I don't know if it doesn't show up on your phone. I don't know, what the deal was. So then I started putting my email and my mailing address in the description box below. Below this video is a description box, and it kind of describes the video, or if I put a link to another video, it'll be in that box down below. So yeah, I started putting it in there. Every video, I don't know if I put it in every video, but I put it down there an awful lot. So it's down there. Says, myself and my wife Pam love your videos. My wife is a shopper and a crafter like Sue is. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. My current job is going to allow me to work remotely, so we'll be moving to the Villages by September the 1st. So he wants to move here so he can take a shuttle and fly in and out of Orlando as his job demands. The wife will be down in mid-July to find a place to rent. We'll rent for at least a year until we really learn the place. By the way, we saw a rental in your Hillsboro area. There's I know that Dave over here rents his. He's got a second home. He bought this one, then he bought another one over here. He got a chance to get one on a golf course over here, and he bought it, and he kept this one over here. It's basically a brand new home. He's rented it out now for 2 winters, January, February, March, and April. And that's it. I don't think he rents it out much other than that. So I don't know if he's going to rent that out by the year or not. A matter of fact, I heard rumor from the girls, they have card games and stuff, and they get caught up on all the gossip, that him and his wife were going to put it up for sale. So, and it's a very nice home. He keeps very good care of it. Actually, in the last 3 or 4 years, I don't think there's hardly anybody lived in it much more than January, February, March, and April. And it might be a turnkey. So this could be a little bit of a deal over here. We have actually visited the Villages a couple of times in the last several years, so they know a little bit about the area. We are looking now to be close to Brownwood so I can ride the shuttle and the shuttle does pick you up down there in Brownwood. To go to the airport as needed. It says, hopefully we can meet face to face in the near future. Thanks for now. Have really made the Villages an easy pick. Chris and Pam Harden. Well, thanks. I thought there was a question in there somewhere, but apparently not. All right, what else? What else? Let me skim down through here. Kathy. How often do you and Sue decide to redecorate? Me and Sue never decide to redecorate. Sue decides to redecorate. I just take orders. I'm happy with what I got. I'm happy with the wall colors being the neutral brown that the Villages paints. The paint isn't the best in the world, I'll admit, but until it goes bad or looks bad, I'm happy with it. The carpet isn't the best in the world, I'll admit, but until it goes to crap, one installer, one thing. All the area we had tile, or we had linoleum. We call it linoleum. The laundry and the kitchen was all this linoleum. And some linoleum looks great. Our linoleum looked kind of it just the color of it and stuff. It just never really appealed to me that much. So I said I'd go just tile everything. To put tile in the kitchen and all the wet areas, and then put tile through the living room area, all that area there, and in the hallways between the bedrooms. There's a little hallway between like the laundry room and the master bedroom, a whole little hallway between the two bedrooms and the bathroom on the guest side of the house. And then leave carpet in all the bedrooms because they'd get very little traffic. All the carpet in the bedrooms looked fine. There was nothing wrong with it yet. And most generally when people walk in bedrooms and around the house or whatever, they don't have their shoes on going into bedrooms and stuff, so they don't really get any of the dirt. So I figured that carpet was probably good for another 3 to 5 years. And then when it went bad, we'll just replace it all with very good carpet. I mean, that made sense to me. But as you see how things turned out, what I say doesn't make no difference. So I just let her go. What am I going to do? But no, I don't make decisions about remodeling anything. Not anymore. Let's go down here. Boy, I got a lot of new subscribers. I never even noticed all this. I'm going to have to do a video for my new subscriber and thank them all. So we are looking at the Villages as a retirement location and found your videos, which are tremendously helpful and informative. I hope so. My way. I know that I'm kind of rough at the edges. My videos are rough. I don't like to edit. Everybody knows. That's been with me for a while. But there's information in here that you can use. Things to look out for. Stuff. In particular, we love the golf cart tours of the different areas and the model tour home tours. Well, the home tours are kind of hard to do, only because of the traffic, especially in the wintertime when the snowbirds are down here. I tried to work with a couple realtors to get access to some of these homes like 15 minutes before they actually open to the public, but it didn't work out. Matter of fact, they didn't even get back with me. They talked to me at first, said they would have to talk and get permission for all that, and I said that's fine, let me know. Nobody ever let me know. They never called back, nothing. So I'm assuming either the developer or whatever are balking on it. I really don't need their permission to go to any of these home shows. They're open to the public. They really can't stop me from going in there. My only thing was when there's 10 or 15 people walking around, I'm just trying to be respectful and stay out of everybody's way. And it's just hard. So I just don't do very many of those unless the opportunity pops up. The golf cart rides, I like doing them, but once you've been to everywhere you normally go, what other golf cart ride can you really do? You know what I mean? And I do get some emails telling me that the golf cart rides are getting boring, that they don't want to see them anymore. They've seen enough, and so I just kind of laid off of them for a little while. But, when the opportunity pops up to do one, I'll do one. This week we're going to Palmetto on Wednesday for the Hillsboro men's golf outing, and I got to get some gas, but I've done gas before. I don't really know about that, but they want to know if I can do a model of an Isabel, a model in the Veranda series at Finney. I could, if I don't really look at the paper to see what homes are open from day to day. If it was open, I could run down there if I'm not doing anything. But like today, Sue's out shopping right now. I got some things around the house I want to get done because we've been gone for a month, so I got to get caught up on some stuff around here. And then 5 o'clock, I've got a meet and greet over here at Evans Prairie. So see, it's just hard sometimes to get out and get some of these things done. But I won't promise I will, but I will promise you that I'll try. And I can't promise when either. Oh, Hillsboro men's golf. People emailing me about playing golf. Oops, I don't want that one. Well, come on. I know I got some more in here somewhere. Rick Donk. What are the part-time job prospects for folks living in the villages? Are there jobs available for folks not quite ready to stop working completely? Absolutely. I worked here for a while. Matter of fact, I'll probably still be doing it. Oh, by the way, yeah, Yingling Light. I've been drinking light beer, just trying to drop a couple of pounds. I've dropped 9 pounds so far. It seems like it's kind of hanging right there. I haven't weighed myself for a couple of weeks, so I don't really know today. But anyway, it's not bad. I'm trying to convince a couple of my favorite country clubs around here to put this beer on their menu. They don't have it. They said it only comes in bottles. They don't have it in draft. I don't know why that would be, but anyway, it's not available locally other than going to the liquor store and buying it by the case and bringing it home. But yeah, part-time jobs. I was a part-time, call it what you want, a gatekeeper, gate guard, the guy that waves at you, says welcome to Villages, the gates open up, let you in and out, that kind of thing. I did that. That's for the CDD. And everything here within the Villages, basically those kind of part-time jobs, they just pay a little bit above minimum wage. It's nothing big. I think when I left, it was like $9 an hour doing that. Absolutely no benefits whatsoever. Which most of us don't need, but and if they can't fill those jobs with people that live inside the villages, those jobs are offered to people that live outside the villages. So and it's nice to have a job literally that you can drive a golf cart to. I just think that's great. But the only reason why I don't do it today is when my father had his last heart attack. And I went up, the doctor called me. I had to go up there, and things were not good. And I stayed with him for 4 months because he wasn't going to make it. And I said, well, I'm not going home until all this is done and over, which includes everything, not just his funeral, but his settling his estate, his selling his house, cars, all that stuff. And so we did. Well, I called my supervisor at that time, which was Sharon. I don't know her last name over there, Sharon. And I told her what was going on, and she was very nice. She said, oh, don't worry about it. She said, just keep us informed of what's going on. She says, and God bless you and your dad, and blah, blah, blah. It goes on. A couple months goes by. Sharon calls me and wanted to know how things are going, and I told her, I said, it's gone. He's sliding a little bit at a time. Who knows how long. I'm not God. I can't pick a date. But I said, but look, if you need to replace me or anything, don't worry about it. I said, because I'm staying here until Dad passes away. And she said, no. She said, you just keep us informed of how things are. She said, I just want to touch bases with you, and we're thinking of you, and blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. It wasn't, I don't know, 2 weeks after she called that last time, some nasty lady called me up from the Villages HR department. That's all I really know. And basically kind of read me the riot act. And she was real nasty about it when she done it. You know, I'm at the age where, hey, I don't really need the money here, and I damn sure don't need that kind of an attitude. And so let's just say that I just simply told her that I'm just going to make this easy for you. I said, I'll just quit. And she just said, so you're relinquishing on your position. I said, you call it whatever you want. I said, I'm telling you I quit. And if you need a reason why I'm quitting, I said, put on there because of your nasty attitude. And I hung up on her. And that was the end of it. And when Sharon called me again to check on me, I told her, and she told me not to worry about it. She said, when you get back here, she said, you give us a call if you want to come back to work. And she said, we'll take care of it. She said, it's probably somebody from the HR department. That's where I got that. I don't know this lady from the HR department. And she said, they don't know what's going on over here. I said, we have a communication problem like that. And she said, so we'll take care of it. You just let us know. And I said, okay, Sharon, I appreciate it. I never called them. That just kind of ticked me off. And I'm kind of a one and done kind of guy. That if I'm pissed at you, that's pretty much it. I don't want nothing to do with you anymore. And so let's just say I'm not giving them a second chance. But let me just say, the job was easy peasy, piece of cake, no big deal. The extra beer money is great. The only thing is about any of the Villages jobs, and it must be an insurance thing, because UPS done the same thing, but that's a major company, you know, is all these meetings you got to go to, and you're required to go to them, and they pay you to go to them, but you got to go. And if you don't go to these meetings, they will take you off the roster, and they won't put you to work until you attend the meeting. You got to go to all these meetings like, let me see, how to recognize dehydration. You have to go to, I can't remember what they call it. The fire department puts it on, where they teach you how to do mouth-to-mouth, how to do chest compressions, how to use the little machine that they got scattered around where you put them on your heart and stuff and hit the button and it gives you a little jolt. Whatever the machines are called, I forget. You got to go to that meeting also. You have to go to safety meetings. You have to go to meetings that tell you about the future plans, meetings. I mean, it's just meeting after meeting. It seemed like every week there was a meeting here, meeting there. And the problem of it was, with me was, I run the Hillsboro Men's Golf Outing on Wednesday. It's my claim to fame here. It's my only thing that I do that I really, truly enjoy. And sometimes these meetings were on my Wednesday. And I had told them that on Wednesday, that's it. I don't do anything on Wednesday but my golf. That's it. There's no compromise there. And I would miss meetings, and I'd have to go to other meetings that would be on other days. But it's just so many meetings. Like, how many meetings do you need to go to say hi to people when they come through a gate? Or to raise a gate on a rainy day? I mean, come on. But anyway, the other part-time jobs is one of them that I keep thinking I might apply for is what they call a golf ambassador. And you have to go up to GMS offices up in Spanish Springs to apply for that. I got a neighbor, Donnie. He's moved now. He moved down to Finney. He does that. He loves it. I thought about it, maybe. I don't know yet. I'm still considering it, but I keep worrying about it getting involved with my Wednesday. Because my Wednesday is not their problem. And so I haven't done anything. But other part-time jobs they have here is, of course, landscaping. If you got a good mower and you want to make a little bit of money, the average price to mow somebody's yard for a month is $40. You're not going to get rich. But if you've got a good, say, zero turning radius, seems to be the mower that everybody uses here. You have to mow. You have to take your weed eater and go edge around the house and the flower beds and whatever. And you have to edge. That little metal thing that goes in the ground, you have to edge the driveway and stuff like that. That's, in our area, that's a requirement on your deed restriction. So, $40. And generally speaking, they mow grass here on an average of once every 2 weeks. In the summertime, it could be longer. In the wintertime, they may not mow but once a month, because the grass in the wintertime here in my area, it's zoysia grass, it goes dormant in the winter, and so it doesn't hardly grow at all. But you're required to pay the same $40. Most of them want you to sign a 6-month to a year contract. A lot of them don't, so you can do that part-time. So to answer your question, yeah, if you go to villages.net, there's a button on there somewhere about employment, and you can click on that and they'll show you all the different Villages jobs. Now there are some Villages office jobs that are full-time jobs, and they pay in the tens of $1,000 range, 40, 50, 60, 70,000 a year. And if you're a part-time nurse or an RN or anything like that, no problemo. Those jobs are available at the hospital and care centers everywhere. Okay, I hope that answered your question, Mr. Donk. Nighttime golf. Oh, this guy, Jenny, I think it's or maybe a girl. Guinea. It's either Guinea or Jenny N. Seems like a lot of fun. It says, I'm not from Gator Country, not playing nighttime golf. Are there gators out there? Do you worry about it? So on and so forth. Nah, we don't worry about it. Gators are really given a bad rap. People hear a lot of things about them. And there might be an incident here and there, usually because some human being has done something stupid. But most generally, they're docile. They just lay around in the sun. At nighttime, when it cools down, they don't really travel that much at night or anything. People say they do, but when they get cold, they don't travel much. Summertime, it doesn't really ever get cold, so yeah, they're more apt to travel at night in the summer than they are in the winter. But here's the thing about nighttime golf. The only time the lights and everything are shut out is when you're teeing off or getting ready to hit the ball, blah, blah, blah. When we get in our golf cart to drive to wherever we hit the ball, we have our headlights on so we can see, you know. And then when we get to where we got our head to where the ball's at, we shut the headlights off to hit the ball. I mean, that's the rule. They're not going to let any of these old duffers, including me, to go out there and fall down, break a hip, you know, and get ate up by an alligator or whatever. And the one thing you never talk about down here, we do have rattlesnakes. You don't really see them anywhere. I've never really seen one, but 20 years ago I saw one. But they are here. It's just something to be aware of, that there are rattlesnakes here. So, you know, you got to use your common sense when you're on your hands and knees and you stick your hand into the flower bed to pull a weed out. Just kind of, you know, I take my stick that I carry and I poke the bushes all the time before I pull weeds. And that's just me. What else we got? Do you think there's a lot of water? Who's this from? Sherry or Cherry Anderson? Do you think there's a lot of water areas down in Finney compared to the rest of the villages? I don't know who sets that up. There's a creek, a river, whatever you want to call it, that runs right by the Villages Rec Center. That's the main water escape route during tropical storms or during maybe a hurricane. When you go down there, if you ever notice, everything is above. Like you can look at the houses, they're high. I did a video on all that. It's designed here that the golf courses is where the water runoff goes. Once the retention ponds are filled, the water runoff goes to the golf courses. It keeps them out of your house. It keeps your streets from being flooded. That's the system down here in the newer area. It's a good system. I saw it firsthand. I did some video when Hurricane Irma went through here. I stayed here and I drove around, and we didn't even lose electricity here, not here. Nothing was flooded. Some trees got blowed down here and there. Bushes come up missing. We don't know where they went because of the high winds, but there was no major damage, which is great. So there's probably a system in place where some engineer, some city councilman or some planning commission actually probably tells the villages how many, where at, all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't worry about all that. Is there anything that those things could cause future sinkholes? I suppose they could. I don't think they would, because All of the retention ponds are lined. That's what holds the water in. They dig the hole and it's lined, and then they let it fill with the water. All the rainwater on the street areas, the pipes underground, most of them run into some retention pond somewhere. They save that water. That water is recycled, and a lot of that water has been, your home properties around those areas are tied into that. So when you water your yard, it comes from those retention ponds, and it's metered. They bill you for that, which I think is ingenious that he done that. But anyway, so no, I wouldn't worry about the retention ponds and sinkholes, about the relationship there. Let me see here. So Skip, have you got an email where I can contact you? Seriously thinking about moving to Villages. Thanks. That's from Dan Georgie or Georgie. Yeah, I just talked about that. I don't know why people can't find it, but it's in the description box below. I'll be putting it in this video. But yeah, but I put an email in there, and I'll put it in this video down below in the description box. And you can email me anytime you want. I think that's it. Oh, S. Hodkinson. I forget your first name. Yeah, this is a long time message, and I've been working on it, Miss Hodkinson. I will address the heat pump. I don't really know what I can say about it because, truthfully, I don't know much about it myself. I just know that down here in my area, it's all heat pumps. We don't have basically air conditioners, even though I talked to the guy. He said basically it works the same way as an air conditioner. I'll see if I can somehow get that worded. You can Google it also and find all the information you want. And my home filtration system that I decided to get, I didn't have one for a couple of years, and in my other house I didn't have one at all. And I don't know what water tank my water came from at the other house in Caroline, but the water down here when we first moved in, it may be because it was a new house and everything was new, and I don't know, it smelled bad. And the taste was a little off. And the toilets, after a couple weeks of not using them, they would be this gray looking thing, muck, that would be around the water ring. And it'd clean off, but it wasn't rust or anything, it was gray. And so I took a cup of water out of the sink with a clear glass and set it on the counter, out of the bathrooms, and all that. And every one of my cups in about a week or two would have this gray matter around the edge of the glass at the water line. And I don't know what it was. All I know was that apparently I'm drinking that. And I had two friends that had the Nova filtration system, and I talked to both of them. I said, "Are you happy with it?" And blah, blah, blah. And they both said that they were extremely happy with it. About once a year, basically, you have to call the guy, and he'll come out and replace all your filters. That's probably where he really makes his money. And I don't know what it costs to replace the filters yet. I've heard in an average, it's around $100 to $110. There's 3 filters total. And they're pretty good size. So I'm figuring $100 and $110 a year to maintain it. And that's it, really. And it took all my smell out. The water tastes like bottled water, really, just that clean. And as far as the gray ring goes, it's 95%, 99%. It's almost gone. Not quite gone, because our guest toilet is the one that we don't really use that much. And so after 2 or 3 weeks of being gone out of the house, when you go in there, you would see like this, just a hint of this gray ring wanting to come around. But I did notice this last time. We were gone for a month. And when we came home, that was the first thing I did, is I went in there to flush the toilets. I had the water shut off in the house. And, get the air out of the lines, like what happens when you're gone. And I happened to notice in there, and I mentioned to Sue, that there was no gray ring in there this time. None. I don't know. So I don't know if whatever was in the water before is now gone, or my filtration system is doing a better job now. I have no answer to that, But we were gone for a month, never flushed the toilets or anything, obviously, and there was no gray ring anywhere. So my thing is that what I have, and I'm not saying it's the best thing on the market or anything like that, but it was reasonably priced. I think mine was $600 installed, guaranteed for life if I remember right. And I did have a problem with it after he first installed it. The darn thing developed a leak in a weird spot. He had to come out and took the whole thing off the wall and put a brand new one on the wall, and put it all back together at no charge to me whatsoever. So he stands behind his product, and it's doing me a fine job. And yeah, that's all I can really say is I'm okay with it. All right, and I'll work on that heat pump thing and see what I can find on it, because when you look at it, it looks like a regular air conditioner. But the best way that I can explain it to you, like they told me, was it takes the cold air molecules or whatever out of hot air and puts that in the house. And then in the wintertime, it just goes in reverse. It takes the hot air molecules, I guess, out of the cold air and puts it in the house. The box in the house is totally different. I mean, yeah, you can set temperature like any other thermometer, but I can also set the humidity in the house with this thing. Right now it's set at 60%, which works out really good for us. So we leave it there. But you can set it wherever you want. Now, how all that works with this thing, I don't know. But so far, so good. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. That'll be Wednesday's video. Hope it wasn't too long. See you guys on... Oh, by the way, I'm working on possibly coming up with a little bit of a t-shirt sale. You know, I'd like to pick up $1 or $2 to kind of help pay for some of this equipment and our gas and our traveling and all that kind of stuff. I did get some more road maps in, by the way. I want to say that too. I've got, I didn't get a bunch, but I got like a half a dozen or so left of what I got in there. And I've also got the big picture map of the Finney area showing the building and future construction, where the bridges and tunnels are going to be and all that. So I do have them. If you want them, you got to go to my PayPal account. It's on my face page, bottom right hand corner. You'll see a PayPal button. Poke it, minimum $15. And I'm not making anything hardly at $15. 20 would be nice, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying 15, and that'll get you mailed. Then email me. Don't put it on in the comments or anything, but email me your address and your name and such. And once PayPal notifies me that you've done that, then if you want one of the road maps, it comes in a set of two from 44 north all the way up Spanish Springs. That's one road map. The other road map will be 44 south. That's all the way down to Finney. That's the second road map, but they both come together. And I'll get that out to you. And hopefully, if we come up with some kind of a t-shirt design and a decent price at a couple places I'm looking at, we can maybe make a couple of bucks on that too. I don't know that anybody out there would even be interested in a t-shirt. It'd be a regular t-shirt, no collar or anything on it. And I don't know what I want to put on the front. My wife thinks I ought to put see you on the other side on there. I was going to put I go golf on the hats and on the t-shirt. We did a little bit of investigating to find out that there's a copyright on that phrase, I go golf, so I don't think I better do that. But there's nothing on see you on the other side, and so I'm thinking about it. In the comments, let me know what you think. I mean, I don't want to buy these things and have them here and then nobody wants them, and I'm just kind of stuck with, you know, a dozen t-shirts. So let me know what you think. If you think it's a bad idea, I'll scrap it. If you think it's a good idea, I may go forward with it. So until then, have a great day. I'll have a great day. Great sunny day. Life just doesn't get any better than this. I can't wait for the meet and greet at Evans Prairie today at 5 o'clock. And we're going to have a little bite to eat and a couple of beers, I'm sure. So, you guys, I'll see you on the other side.